Well, joining us now, we have with us Sister Judith Sutera. She's the author of the Vinedresser's Notebook, and she joins us via Skype from Kansas. Thanks so much for being with us, Sister.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Your book began as sort of a simple notebook. I wonder if you could tell us about the transition to being published.
It was kind of a shock. I started with just some drawings that I did for people who helped me in the garden, because people would say, you know, there's a lot of life lessons here. This isn't just garden work. And so I made some little sketches with very short comments, and I had that for many years. A reporter by the name of Judith Valente, she's with PBS, Religion and Ethics News Weekly, became a friend of the community, and she wrote a book about our community called Atchison Blue. And she told somebody about this book, sketchbook that I had, and the people at Abingdon decided it was worth putting some reflections with and turning into a real book. And the sketches that I did, of course, were like stick figures and pretty pathetic. So they hired a real artist from my layouts.
Well, the sketches are truly engaging and very beautiful, Sister. Can you tell us how these sketches are actually connected to the words, to your writing?
Aren't they amazing? An artist by the name of Paul Supasset, whom they hired, that I had no idea what he was going to do. And, you know, that's kind of unnerving when you don't know what the artist is going to do with it. But it turned out to be so beautifully insightful. And by showing the way the vines grow, the way the vines are cut, the way the vines wander, goes with the thoughts about our own human development. As I say, sometimes we talk about plants are like people, but in so many ways, people are like plants.
You were mentioning Judith Valente, and folks might remember her. She was on Catholic TV as well, but she visited the monastery, spoke of the beauty and peace. What spiritual lessons do we receive in vine dressing and God's great creation?
Well, I think all of creation in so many ways is so much the same. Everything, whether you're a radish or a rabbit or a person, have basic things in common in terms of coming from a small seed, developing after your own kind in a natural way, needing to be cared for in different ways. We have to be fed. We have to have other things from nature. And we grow. We die. All those things are the same for everything. And so often when we nurture a vine, we learn a lot about how we nurture ourselves spiritually.
Sister Judith, you're a Benedictine sister of Mount St. Scholastica. Can you tell us about your community and the location, the situation, and how the vines, the grapes, kind of factor into all of this?
Sure. We're one of the largest Benedictine monasteries in the country. We have over 100 sisters here, which is kind of unusual for a Benedictine community, which is like a family. It's a small group. All of our sisters either live here or in the Kansas City metropolitan area, and we spend a lot of time together. And back in the old days, of course, we had to have a fair amount of land to grow the food that we needed. We don't do as much of that anymore, but we do have some ground around us. Our monastery is in a city where on one side our neighbors are right up to us, and on the other side where our cemetery and our grounds are, we have some space. And I think that's so much in keeping with the Benedictine way of life. You know, one part of us serves the needs of the people around us, and one part of us encourages the contemplation, the personal growth, and the responsibility we have for caring for nature.
What was it like, Sister, for you to, just have that notebook and to see that this comes into a book right now, and how has that been for you personally to see that come to fruition?
It was amazing, very exciting, because not only Paul really did his homework. There's actually sketches in there he must have gotten from Google Earth that are actually features of our own monastery, even though he's never been here. And that made it really come alive for me. And of course, as I said, my pictures were stick figures, and he's done this so beautifully.
Well, we've only been able to visit with you just for a few minutes here, but Sister, can people go somewhere to learn more about the monastery, see a little bit more, and perhaps get a copy of the Vinedresser's notebook?
Sure. The book is published by Abingdon Press. It's a major religious press, so it's available from their website, from online booksellers, and hopefully from local booksellers as well. If they want to know more about our monastery, we have a website. It's www.mountosb, MOUNTOSB, as in Order of St. Benedict.org. And we welcome visitors. We welcome people to correspond with us on the website. And we also Twitter and Facebook and all of those kinds of things.
Well, thank you so much, Sister, for being with us today. We appreciate you stopping by and telling us about this great book.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
And to you.
And the whole family.
The whole big family.
The whole big family.
Right.